Stubble cultivation is an indispensable stage in preparing the field for future sowing. Its main tasks are to interrupt evaporation and mix the remaining post-harvest residues with the soil. Cultivating the land saves water and creates favorable conditions for residue mineralization. The primary task of post-harvest cultivation is to retain as much water in the soil as possible. We must take care of it at every step to preserve as much water in the soil for the succeeding plants as possible. As a result of rain and subsequent drying and shrinking of the soil, natural macropores form in the ground through which water evaporates. Even very shallow stubble cultivation disrupts the natural spaces in the soil and covers them with loose earth. Cultivating the field after harvest destroys the weeds that are already growing in the stubble. These weeds also unnecessarily use up valuable water. Finally, by shallowly mixing the soil, we cover weed seeds and preceding crop seeds, stimulating them to germinate. It is important not to carry out the first cultivation too deeply, as the seeds might enter dormancy instead of germinating. This is due to the lack of light necessary for germination. Such seeds will only germinate in subsequent seasons when, as a result of cultivation, they are just below the soil surface. Great results can be achieved here with the Spring Expert mulching harrow and the Matrix rotary harrow from Rolmako. The first stubble cultivation is best done as shallowly as possible. It is important to undercut the stubble across the entire surface. For stubble cultivators, this should not be a problem. The side wings are responsible for undercutting the stubble. It is important that they are set at the smallest possible angle to the soil for the first cultivation. To achieve this, adjust the angle of attack of the cultivator tine. Remember that the tip of the cultivator tine will always work deeper than the undercutting wings. For disc harrows, much depends on the angle of attack of the discs on the soil and the angle of the discs to the ground. If they are small, increase the depth to undercut the soil completely. Moreover, very often large diameter discs are deeply toothed. This also doesn't favor shallow soil undercutting. The Rolmako Speed Cutter disc harrow is designed for shallow cultivation, with its angle of attack and the texture of the wavy disc designed to work with stubble at a depth of 3 cm. Rolmako TurboCut and ProCut knife rollers are well suited for the first shallow post-harvest cultivation and to support other cultivation tools for deeper secondary tillage. To save water, a second stubble cultivation is recommended. The purpose of this treatment is to destroy the germinated weeds and volunteer seeds that use water for their growth and development. In the past, farmers used harrowing for this purpose. Today, these tasks are carried out with tools used for the first cultivation, such as disc harrows or cultivators. Increasingly, farmers use the Spring Expert mulching harrow or the Matrix rotary harrow for this purpose. This is an effective treatment provided that we destroy the weeds and volunteer crop seeds in the early stage. If straw has been shredded in the field, the second tillage is recommended to be done much deeper. Here, besides destroying volunteer plants, it's about thoroughly mixing the shredded straw. It is accepted that for each ton of shredded straw, about 2 cm of tillage depth is needed. So, in the case of well-yielding and shortened wheat, a depth of about 12–14 cm should be sufficient. This treatment can be combined with sowing cover crops using, for example, the Rolmako U693 and U652 disc harrow. Tillage of corn stubble is often considered more demanding compared to stubble from other cultivated plants. There are several reasons why this is more difficult. Firstly, corn has large and solid post-harvest residues that can be difficult to decompose and mix with the soil. The corn stalk is relatively thick and hard, which makes it more difficult to shred than the stems of other cereals. Secondly, corn has a strong root system which can harden the soil. Post-harvest tillage of corn may therefore require additional work to loosen the soil and prepare it for other crops. Finally, corn is a host to many specific diseases and pests that can survive on post-harvest residues. To avoid problems in the following growing seasons, it is necessary to thoroughly mix and decompose the remaining corn. To effectively cultivate corn stubble, farmers must apply appropriate tillage strategies and techniques, such as using machines capable of handling the heavy post-harvest residues, like the U671 heavy disc harrow with an aggressive angle of attack and 620mm disc diameter, and the U436 non-plow tillage cultivator. It is also recommended to use crop rotation to reduce the risk of diseases and pests and to monitor soil moisture. Even distribution and mixing of straw are crucial for its proper mineralization. Straw should be cut into short segments. This helps in the microbiological breakdown of the straw, during which nutrients are released into the soil. For proper straw decomposition, the soil must have regulated pH. Acidic soil does not form a clumpy structure, making it harder to work with and to cover post-harvest residues. When the soil lacks the proper structure, it is less conducive to microbial life. Compacted and hard soil does not support earthworms. These animals play a very important role in the transformation of organic matter and in the formation of soil humus. In the case of rapeseed, it is important to shred the long stubble stems. Here, it is recommended to install a knife roller to the U693 or U652 disc harrow. Importantly, in Rolmako rollers, the knives are mounted on a tube, preventing stones from getting stuck between the obliquely arranged knives of the roller. If you already have a disc harrow, you can install a double pro-cut knife roller on the front 3-point hitch of the tractor. The optional spiral knife arrangement provides even better cross-cutting, improving the stubble shredding effect. Summer is a good time for deep cultivations of the field. The best effect of this treatment is achieved when the soil in the deeper layers is dry, then it freely cracks, breaking the plow pan and other compactions. However, soil deeply loosened after subsoiling is highly susceptible to water loss. For this purpose, Rolmako offers subsoilers integrated with a coupling device for an accompanying machine, allowing, for example, to attach a disc harrow behind the subsoiler. Thanks to such a combination, in one pass we subsoil and cultivate the top layer, preventing water loss. In the case of the U624 chisel plow with Reaper tine, the soil is initially compacted and refined by a double-spiked roller. This way, it is prepared for simplified sowing. In agricultural practice, the decision to subsoil stubble should be based on a thorough analysis of the soil's needs, climatic conditions, and the farming system used on a given field. So let's summarize everything that was said earlier. The first stubble cultivation is mainly aimed at destroying weeds, stimulating volunteer plants, and incorporating plant residues and loosening the soil surface. Subsequent cultivations are aimed at further weed control, destroying volunteer plants, and improving soil structure and preparing it for the next crop sowing. Incorporating plant residues into the soil helps them decompose faster and transform into organic matter, favorably affecting soil structure, which becomes more accessible to water and air, benefiting plant roots. When choosing a post-harvest cultivation technology, it is worth paying attention to soil type, its moisture, current weather conditions, and equipment availability. Ultra-shallow conservation tillage, which minimizes soil disturbance, is becoming increasingly popular due to its environmental and economic benefits. Post-harvest cultivation is an important element of agrotechnics. Its proper implementation can significantly affect yields in the next season. The appropriate selection of the depth, number of treatments, and their goals is key to success. Do you like the content we publish? Do you want to delve deeper into the subject today? If so, we cordially invite you to visit our blog available at rolmako.com blog. The main goal of Rolmako is to ensure your success in agriculture. We aim to provide you with as much valuable knowledge as possible about adapting agrotechnical treatments to various factors such as soil type, climatic conditions, and the guidelines of the European Union's Common Agricultural Policy. Our articles are carefully prepared to provide you with comprehensive information and practical tips that will help you achieve optimal results in your agricultural activities. Don't wait any longer. Visit our blog now and deepen your knowledge, which will contribute to the development of your farm.